Hello and welcome to this tutorial number 10 of Dictionary Bits. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about words ending with bble. For example, Babel, Rebel, and Gable. The trick or key to learning these words is to remember that these words are also known as the baby talk family, because a great number of these words are related to incoherent talking, meaning to utter words indistinctly or unintelligibly like babies do, or nonsensical arguments like babies or kids often make. Now let's learn some vocabulary by way of examples. First is babble. As a verb, it means to talk continuously in a foolish, excited, or incomprehensible way, more or less like a baby. For example, they babbled on about their holiday. Or, he will babble on about sports all night if you let him. As a noun, it refers to an incomprehensible sound of people talking simultaneously. For example, the answers were difficult to hear amid the babble of conversation. Next is gable. Gable is a close synonym for babble, but it is faster than babble. Accordingly, as a verb, it means to talk rapidly and unintelligibly, which is impossible to understand. For example, the little boy gabbled his prayers and jumped into bed. Or, she started gabbling away at me in Spanish and I didn't understand a word. As a noun, it refers to rapid, unintelligible talk. For example, I'm not very good at the random gabble of teenagers. Next is quibble. As a verb, it means to complain or argue in a trivial or petty manner, just like kids do. For example, they are constantly quibbling over the small quantity of food they were served. Or, let's not quibble over minor details. As a noun, it refers to a slight objection or criticism about a trivial matter. For example, the only quibble about this book is its high price. Next is squabble. As a verb, it means to quarrel noisily over a trivial matter. For example, the boys were squabbling over a ball. As a noun, it refers to a minor argument or a noisy quarrel about something trivial. For example, the children got into a squabble about who should ride in the front of the car. Or, we often use the phrase family squabbles. Next is rebel. As a verb, it means to shout unintelligibly and utter insulting nonsense, especially used in the context of a large disorderly crowd making chaos. For example, the protesters rabbled sleazy remarks against the minister. As a noun, it refers to a noisy, disorderly crowd or a mob. For example, the new employment policy was met by a rabble of noisy, angry youths. Or, the politician gave a rabble-rousing speech resulting in a flurry of protests. Next is Wibble. It is internet slang for making meaningless comments. As a noun, it refers to pointless, random messages left on message box by time-wasting internet users. For example, I don't have time for the internet, Wibble. To sum up the bble tail family, what we learned in this tutorial are: first, the tail bble is related to incoherent talking or nonsensical arguments, both features of babies and kids. Words we defined are babble, gabble, quibble, squabble, rabble, and wibble. This is all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Hope it was worth your time. If you liked the video, please do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the next video on time. By then, bye-bye. See you next week with a new tutorial.